Hey friends, parents should be very attentive to their children in order to catch any changes in their behavior in time to be able to respond appropriately. It could be that the child needs help but doesn't know how to ask for it. This is what our story is about today. When the Valerio family moved from Spring Hill, Florida, their daughter Aliyah had to go to the new Pine Grove Elementary School. Starting school is a stressful process for young children. They leave the familiar environment at home and have to go to an unknown place. And changing schools causes as much stress, but these parents hope that their girl would be fine. Aliyah was a sociable child at her first school and enjoyed studying. But at the new school, something went wrong right away. Thomas Valerio always had excellent relationships with his children, so he quickly noticed that Aliyah seemed to be trying to distance herself from him. She hated school more and more each week. Each morning she cried because she didn't want to go to class, and every day she returned home in tears. Thomas was tormented, trying to figure out what was going on. He tried talking to his daughter, but she wouldn't tell him anything. She couldn't understand whether one of the teachers was mean to her or if the students were bullying her, and things were good at home, which meant that it could only be something at school that was upsetting her. Not knowing what it was made her father feel terrible. Going to school and insisting on sitting on a lesson would be useless, since any bully that was the student or teacher would behave themselves in front of a parent. So the parents came up with a smarter plan. First, they went to see the local sheriff to check if there was a plan that wouldn't be breaking any laws if it was good. So the Valerios set their plan in motion. They bought a tiny audio recording device, and the next morning, the father quietly placed it in the hair of his beloved daughter. They didn't tell the girl what they were doing so that she wouldn't worry. That day, Thomas was eagerly waiting for Leah to come home. She was in a bad mood as usual, so the father carefully retrieved the device and went to have a listen. Then he called for his wife. What the parents heard on those 6 hours of recording was shocking. Thanks to the recording device, they literally caught the teacher red-handed. The teacher was shouting all the time during class. She scolded small children for the slightest mistakes and constantly ordered them to be silent. And when the teacher spoke quietly, her malicious, degrading tone made it even worse. The father was terrified at how this teacher was basically bullying the children. Thomas took the tape and went to show it to the head mistress, but she refused to even listen to it, explaining that she doesn't listen to recordings made without the teacher's consent. Realizing that the other children were also suffering, the father turned to the school board. His statement about the need to dismiss the teacher that was incapable of working with children was met rather coldly. They replied that the school administration was conducting an investigation and the teacher was reprimanded. They also suggested that the parents should transfer the girl to a different class, but Thomas didn't want his daughter to go to a school where children were bullied. Thomas and his wife were raising 2 girls and a son with special needs. Their children were always surrounded by positive emotions and would express themselves freely. Thomas really didn't want the school to break his daughter's spirit. The other parents in Elias's class supported him, but the matter still didn't get addressed properly. Things began to change only when he posted a petition to fire Mrs. Duncan on change.org. It quickly got over 2,000 signatures. Thomas found himself in the spotlight of the media covering this issue. Local news outlets wrote and talked about him. Reporters admired the man's determination to bring justice to Pine Grove. The story soon spread throughout the country, and even though Mrs. Duncan is still working at the elementary school, Thomas has had some hope that eventually children will be freed from such a mentor. After all, the behavior patterns they witnessed at this age can stay with them for their life. At least now, the whole country knows about the teacher's dictatorship. Fortunately, there are many great teachers who love their job, and they deserve nothing but respect, as they can change a child's life for the better.
Did you like the story? Check out our channel for more.